All right, we have a nice full agenda today. We're going to hear from Ling and Bill. We've got MJ's doctor photograph. How many of you did work on that? Okay, only a few. All right. And then we've got 3 stations over here where you'll have a chance to sit down with somebody. Tom is going to do Lightroom. Want to know anything more about Lightroom? And Anita is going to do, I guess, Topaz. And I'm here if you want to learn a little bit about Photoshop. Sit down with me and I'll show you some of its tricks. And of course, Photoshop. Anyway, we're going to start with Ling and Bill. We're going to talk a little bit about their interest in photography, how they got started, and so forth. And they have told me after about 20 minutes or so, do this, so they know they have to stop. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, Ling and Bill.
I'm going to first and introduce myself. I'm Bill Whitworth, and talk a little bit about my career path because that's how I got involved in photography. I graduated from the University of Richmond in 1968 and went to work for Travelers Insurance Company in the claims department. Investigated claims and negotiated personal injury cases with attorneys, and stayed there 14 years, left and became a licensed private investigator. And I worked for the plaintiff's attorneys. I was freelance. I didn't work for anybody. I worked freelance at different firms. And one of the first things I found out I could do to enhance my income was to take photographs, because they wanted me at first to meet with professional photographers in places where accidents had occurred or something of that nature, and tell them what exactly we wanted in the photographs. So I immediately started at J. Sargent Reynolds with their photography program. Then it was Reynolds, and as what used to be John Tyler that has the good photography program, but then it was Reynolds. They had, and I got a career certificate in photography. I took a lot of photographs, made money at it. But those photographs, yeah, something I can't do now. But those photographs are not the kinds of photographs we aspire to take, which is, I wasn't worried about composition, not worried about, color balance, etc. But to a certain degree, but we're not going for some competition photograph here. It's documentation, forensic type photography. Still, I got cameras and lenses, and it was film, of course. Because I started in 1983 doing that. So I worked 7 years at that and decided, I want to do something different. So I went back to school to get a master's degree at the University of Richmond in history. And that's where I met Ling. The first day I walked in there, I met Ling. And she had just come from China a year before. And finished that program and became a adjunct faculty member at VCU, J. Sargent Reynolds, John Tyler. I still teach. I had 4 classes last semester. So that's how I got into photography now. While I was going to school again and teaching a lot of classes, I let my photography lapse and didn't get into digital until 10 years ago. And then it was Reynolds again. I took a class at Reynolds, and I've taken classes at John Tyler as well, Brightpoint, and Photoshop, for instance. John Henley, who was here talking to us, one of my teachers back in the early 80s. That was a black and white printing class, and Ann Savage, who came, I took a class from her. I took 2 classes from her, as a matter of fact. She's a good teacher. Both of them are good teachers. And so that's how I got going. And of course, I met Ling there, and then we got married, and been married almost 32 years. Well, maybe I'll show some pictures now. Some of my pictures. I know they're there. Plus, we brought a backup just in case. Aha! Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I like motion. I like it. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That'd be great. I like to. The last time I showed photographs, I was talking about motion. How motion was our assigned topic, and I've been interested in motion ever since I got into digital. And here's one I took about 7 years ago in that backyard. That's one of Ling's gladiolas. And so I figured, wow, what's faster than a hummingbird's wings and a hummingbird's movement? So I tried to stop their wings. Now, just to talk a little bit about the technical aspect of my photography, I always shoot, of course, raw, always shoot manual. And this particular, I found that I was able to pretty much stop a hummingbird at 4,000, a shutter speed of 4,000. I saw on Facebook yesterday, one of their members, Parks Roundtree, posted one that he finally, as he said, stopped the wings at 12,000, a shutter speed of over 12,000. But it helps if you get them when they're extended like that, they're slower, or when they're back like this. And so that one, that's 4,000 shutter speed. That's on a tripod with a 500 millimeter lens, long lens, and just standing in the sun until it's soaking wet. Wait for the bird to show up. I mean, you don't sneak up on him and take his picture with that big thing. You stand there and hope he doesn't notice you. Okay, you go to the next one if you will, Count. Thanks. This one, it's not on the same level as one of the show, but they love those the honeysuckle, that long, thin red, and Ling has planted them in their backyard, so we got them just coming out, eating of them all the time. We don't get feed of. Excuse me. Could you go to the next one? Yeah, I like this one better. Again, he's up, so 4,000 will stop him. And
how long do you have to stand there and wait?
2 hours. Not for one bird. I might get to shoot it 3 or 4 birds. Not one place I've gone. I've done a lot of them in our backyard, and we live in Goochland on 7.5 acres. So it's wooded.
Do you have the camera set and
So what?
rapid fire mode? Is it firing up?
Absolutely rapid fire. Absolutely. When he shows up, I start pow. Yes. And because I'm going to get him all going up like this, and he might not be as when he's in this area, it's going to be maybe a little blurred as possible.
You focus on a single spot and wait for him to move into it? You focus on the cloud.
Basically, yeah. No, I see him coming, I'm just sitting there and just concentrating, and I see him coming, and but you're only talking about just a little bit of distance. Very small distance. Thanks, Kim. You do another one. Now to the more current interest.
Nice.
Paul in our club showed his rugby pictures, and that gave Ling and myself the idea to shoot rugby. And there it is, Dory Park in Richmond. That's the Richmond strikers, rugby team, and anyway, can we go to the next one? Again, stop in action, and nothing dramatic's happening, and yeah, he's doing some movement. Somebody tried to tackle him back then, didn't make it. Okay, Kemp, thanks. There's a guy that's about to lose his shirt.
If that is team.
Yeah, one thing that's good about the historic hawk shooting is you can get up pretty close. Still need a 400 millimeter, using the 80 to 400, not the 500, and not a tripod, just holding it. Okay, Kim, thanks. Aha, the ladies are getting into this game. There they are, nice tackle coming up. Again, it's just my fascination with motion. These fellows, this is in the championship in May. It was not at Historic Hawk, but that's the Richmond team playing, and I've entitled that one, Bringing Down. Yeah, I printed that. We print, by the way, we have a big printer. I printed it, matted it, and once in a while we put something in one of the local shows like Artworks or something like that. As the ladies again getting into the action. Okay. Oh yeah, great. Now also pop, rapid motion with these. Now here's obviously we know what's happening here. Tackle maybe about to occur, maybe, but we don't know for sure, and we have to go to the next frame to find out. No tackle. And just the frustration of that lady on the ground, it fascinates me. And they're going to, I mean, they're really putting themselves out. They don't have any equipment on, no padding.
Woo, that's crazy sport.
Yeah. It is, and here's another, we're gonna find out whether we're gonna have a tackle or not. Look at the determination on that lady's face. Are we gonna have it? Yeah, let us know. No, we're not. We're not gonna have it. No tackle. Aha, horse racing. I love it. Stand out. You stand out for an hour and 15 or an hour and 30 minutes in the sun in between races. Or what is it, 40 minutes or 45 minutes? And then it lasts a minute. And they come in front of you. You've got it in front of you for 20 seconds. So I'm standing there with a tripod, and we can't get up to where the officials do. You know, they have a special spot, but we're standing there. You got an instant to get those horses, but fast, click. Horse race, haven't done that this year. And to get those pictures, I mean, Ling and I went to race that day after day, like 10 times we went to the horse races, 15 times we went to the rugby, etc. And this is polo up in Charlottesville, Crowside. And I think my time's pretty much and here's more polo.
Load all four off the ground.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, it's a beautiful place up there. It's a winery that puts on, King's Family Farm puts on polo while people drink wine. Not Ling and myself, but other people. There they are. We love to photograph triathlons. And this particular, one of the things with this particular one, but this is a triathlon here in Richmond. This one last year. We photographed it every year. We've done it for about 6 years, except for the year of the pandemic that didn't have it. And that one,
Very nice.
yeah, thanks. That picture's actually been published in the magazine for the Professional Photographers Association of America. They published that in their magazine. So that's one of my favorite pictures. And that's the same triathlon. That's a different triathlon. Dismounting, getting off the bikes. That's one in the rain. I showed that before. Yes. And then I showed that just recently.
That rain shot, how do you protect yourself on the camera?
We have ponchos and just pull it out when you start shooting, but the cameras get wet. But it doesn't seem to really make, we worked there all day on those. I showed that once before in black and white. This is one of my favorite pictures. That's snow motion. And I've showed that here. It's been in the magazine, but that's the only picture I've ever sold. And from artworks. Only one I ever sold. And other than to all those attorneys in the 1980s. Okay, thanks.
Bill, how do you keep track of all these events? How do you keep a calendar to know where to go and when?
Do just that. Right now, keep a calendar. And right now, at this point, Ling and I've gotten into soccer. And so we've done some of the Richmond kickers over. That's difficult because it's so crowded, et cetera, et cetera. We've been a couple of times and we're doing the University of Richmond women's soccer, and we're going to do the University of Richmond women's lacrosse.
Yeah.
And just look on their site.
And also with the triathlon benefits, who's running here and as a volunteer out. Serious, I'm talking about the 100.
So you look at individual,
All the events, they're just could you please come here, we do this, do that. Most of the commentating is about kids. Because these rare, if you search that LRDE, most sites on the, that's a foundation that offer free service to the lower income families for their kids. Free service about ethnic training. And then so I think that's important. They're doing everything, raise money and something for the lower income. We want to do that for the child, shoot. They have 7 or 6 events every. Until this year, I told that I had, said, I'm forgetting it. Sorry, I can only do the triathlon. Triathlon will swimming, running and cycling. With in my session, I will show you one picture I told my friend. I was soaking wet. I was figure out why this camera is pretty expensive. My 400 millimeter cost me over $2,500. So I went to the place. I said, can you give me something I can cover my lens? The lady said, this is my work. It's a teacher. The events teacher. I just read on my the lens. Then waiting until they come. Until pressing use back button. A tracking one of the rider on the bicycle began to the end of the I told you. Now I need to tell Peter. He gave a presentation, tell us how can you protect your camera. And if you don't wear, you do this, I repeat it exactly. Take my t-shirt out, it's wet. Then you dry all the stuff. Anyway, so it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us how you got here, Ling.
Actually, I do not need to tell you, I came from China. Could you mind show that map, one of the map? This morning I kept thinking, instead of telling you guys, describe where I came from. How about look at the map? Okay, you see this? Can you? No way we can launch it. Very end. YUNNAA, you know, close to Vietnam. I came from there. And then you see that the red dot, I mean, KUNMING, that's the place I grew. So, pretty much, I think I left China New Year's Day, 1989. 10 o'clock, left China. And then same day, New Year's Day, I got into New York because two countries were 27-hour difference. So I got there. I remember talking about my experience in the United States is more kind of a continuing learning. When I was in China, I taught university American history and talk about the black, white, blah, blah, blah. I thought I'm pretty much well organized, well educated about the United States. So no problem. I can go there easily, plug in. And some people in China, including my family, they keep thinking, you're approaching 40 years old. You go to the United States, do what? You're too old for that. That's a regular running society. Everything changed. I should just go and try if we cannot make it and come back to China, teach university again. So I can, same day I got to New York. Talking about learning, and first learning is shock. I realized, just landing in New York airport, I realized I'm not well prepared. Number one, I have only $80 in my pocket. So then I have two brief case full of work because my American friends told me, don't try to buy a book in the United States, particularly Chinese language book is very expensive. So I just two briefcase full of Chinese dictionary. And by the way, I still have it. Any of you interested in that? That's 2-inch thick book. You can think. So I can take it down. Then I need to move the stuff. Go to the outside. Someone is waiting for me. The guy worked there as a black guy 10 years. Lady, you have to pay $1. That's the first shock. When I think $1 out of my 80. That's pretty much a lot. So I come to Richmond. I got a second culture shock. I come to Richmond with the help from University of Richmond, full scholarship. So and then University arranged me leave with outside of university campus, but they just across the street, College Road. We live with a retired doctor and his wife. They're super nice, like my parents. But anyway, the lady asked me, marry me, Ling, what would you like to see in Richmond, this new place? I said, how about bookstore? I love bookstore in China, always reading. And oh, she said, let's go. Get me into a car, go to the city, downtown. Bookstore, I think they're already closed. Old-fashioned bookstore, everyone knows. Look at it, wow, beautiful book. Then I said, I need to look at the street. I went outside, see the bus, people waiting for bus on the West Wall Street. And a bunch of homeless people. Wow. I was shocked. I thought this country is pretty much aware of everyone. Like in China, you always wear the same clothes and they have the same food to eat. And here I see a bunch of the people put all their belongings on the grocery car. That's a shock. How come? So again, I was not prepared for American culture. Understand the disparity in the society and also understand how the capitalism free market economy works. Anyway, so I just feel I constantly get a culture shock. And finally, when I get finished with you, I'm going to visit you for my PhD in School of Social. When I select, I told my professor, I'm not going to study history anymore because nothing I can do for anyone. Oh, he said, that's a good idea. You know what? Have you heard of social work? I said, what they're doing? They're policing neighborhood or no. He said, social work in the United States is a profession. Help people in need. And you will catch them if you want. Check out. So I applied social work, University of Pennsylvania. I got their PhD. But a PhD, not practice social work and study research on social program, evaluate efficiency of the program. So I went there after interview or whatever I got in, but I only got a $5,000 scholarship for first year. I write back, thank you very much. I cannot come because I was on F1 visa. I must have the full-time study program. Therefore, without a scholarship, I couldn't do it. That's why I feel so bad. I got a 6 university, applied to 6 university. I got in everyone PhD, but 5 of them is about Asian history because I'm Chinese language. So. But anyway, get a story short. None of them, except the VCU, gave me full scholarship. So at that point, the Bill and I already get together. Bill said, hey, it's not the end of the world. Can you check the VCU? Take a look at the standard School of Social Work. I work in library, university library. I began to search VCU School of Social Work on US News. Remember, I think you guys are familiar. US News every year they do the ranking. The VCU School of Social Work was nation's number 8, top number 8. Right away, I began convincing you apply. Well, there's only 2 weeks. The deadline. You need to submit it. I did it. For 10 days, I never heard anything from you. See, I told you, there, I cannot get. And then, last day of 2 weeks, I got a phone call when I work in the library, in my office. I got a phone call, oh, this is about the director of the PhD program in the School of Social Work. Oh, I got it. What's up? And the guy said, can you come to my office? I said, now, yes. We have only half day left, but we cannot accept you, promise you scholarship unless we interview. That's what I'm going to do. I run into my supervisor's office. I need to go to this. I have to come. Anything wrong? I said, no, nothing wrong. I just need to go. So I just drive my car, got to this here, looking westbound, down the boundary. And I went to the building and they asked me why you want to apply social work. I will do that again. I've been doing research on history for all my life, but I cannot do anything to help people. That's what I'm looking for the way if I can do something about it. And then he said, we will regular GRE. You will have a change in language. Oh, I say, I know, sir. My GRE English score is almost a bottom because I was a history major in China. All the English I learned is either taught by myself or just listen to the voice of a man. That's it. But he said, good news is you are really good at all the mathematics. I said, thank you very much. That's it. So in the refuse, the 2 hours, you go to Moscow theater before a train. Basically, that's a registration place there. You go station to station and tell people you are just gonna accept. I will call them and we will send them back to the registrar office. So that's why I got the school association. That is the reason I want to tell you is that studying this photography actually is accidental for me. I didn't know the intent to do it. I just like it. Because Bill, you can see Bill's kind of very down to earth, a quiet person. He just listened to me talking, never said shut up. So when he doing the, I know he loved photography. I know he already studied for many years. But whenever he go to meet up group or whatever, taking photo, I like the phone. No, you shouldn't do that. No, change it. And this direction must be. I have no idea about the photography, just talking. So 2017, one day we'll come in here. This is our camera. It's a Nikon, my first Nikon E5200. Right up, maybe you don't really like it. I said, okay, I like it, and how can I make it? Then he said, oh, it's a simple. P is programmed, M is name, and S is the shortest speed priority. I said, I couldn't remember what. Oh, he said, there's a book. You pass those instruction book to me. I didn't read it. So for me, the learning, I realized, just like I learned in other subjects, I faced some challenge. Number one, language. I'm not, you can see, you can hear. I'm not perfectly good in English, even now. Accent and also words I know, but I hesitate to you if I'm not quite sure if the right thing to do. It's related to the social norm. You say certain things to someone, could it have the opposite effect on others? Challenge. Number one, language. Number two, technique. How do I know short speed? All I need one knows what the number is. Okay, 200, 250, okay, 200, 250. And the F star. I have no time to ask what we ask. So I will ask Bill, what are the value? 15, 11, 2, or the 5.6, or I just try to remember the number corresponding to the image I needed to the distance. So gradually, and 2017, he dragged me to the club meeting. That's the first time I met Bruce. Nice guy. I can think of this guy. If I have a problem, I can ask him here. He never said no to me. So, and at the end, Bill's, and we get an image. This selection, I select some image from earlier, my first image, and to the others. My dog, Simba, king of the jungle. So, and get in the backyard. Take a picture. Almost 550. That afternoon, I asked Bill, he threw the ball. 1, until he said, I'm so tired. And finally I got this. Simba, and Simba running through the ball. Finally, I got this one. Then I want the ball just reach his mouth. But of course, others. At that point, I had no any idea about the back part, the track. So, but it does not really focus on. I was criticized. Look at the lower part was not great. And let's move. This 2017, my first try, and then this was 2018. It's a night, cause 9 o'clock. Actually, we went to what you call river, the canal walking, and lost a minute. We're ready to go back. I saw that guy come to the walking place. It's very distinctive stuff. And the context, the nighttime context. So I took his picture. After I posted a picture on Facebook, Anita wrote me, said me, and you think convert this color original, this picture into white and black and white. Okay, thinking black and white. So I know you can use it. I did it. I love it. So I want to get it. Actually, this image was later displayed in the center of the culture center. No,
Crossroads, I think.
Crossroad, yeah, Crossroad. Thank you. And with all the black and white image. This works. And this one, I love it for the color and funny. It's I think it's Irish game. No, Saturday game that day in the raceway. We went there, and this guy, wow, super monster. But he dyed all the color, makes him even stand out. That's why I never try to black and white. I want to show his everything. It's fun. I just take it. So basically, by that time, 2018, let's move. 2018, actually, I realized I'm more interested about the sports related and also best activity. This is the only one I did on the nighttime. Fascinating about the region downtown, Christmas day, but it frozen me to death. That's why only one I want to do. We went there, still use my Nikon D50 and instead I think the time long exposure almost a couple of minutes. I can think of last time I asked a bill. As my camera still work and wanted to use well because at this nighttime. So you can see at that point my knowledge about the lighting still very limited. Let's move. Oh, by the way, this is the one I sold. I sold it same year in artworks. And the day I got a phone call saying your image is sold. Thank you. I asked Bill, I said, Bill, he was in the backyard. I said, Bill, let me ask you a question. Did you buy that image? And Bill said, no, Bill. Yesterday, I said, yesterday, did you buy that image? He said, no, Bill. Do you remember yesterday I was with you? You check the credit card every day. If I buy, you will see Bill Whitworth spend money. So anyway. It's fun. It's fun. Let's move. Okay. Peter, remember we went to the city hall?
Yeah.
Peter organized. That's the first time I went with a group and get into the city hall observation place. Nighttime, close to night, early later.
Yeah.
I really, I started to move, but I think I need to do the exercise timeline. So I did not select the artist. I really enjoy it, but because this early evening setting challenging me, learn how to do the aperture and also the arranging the art. That's another. And the third challenge there is I shoot across the glass. That's another challenge. But anyway, I have fun. That's good. Okay, this one we're taking in strangers. That's a day first time I met Tom. So many people there, I keep thinking, no way, I'm sure. Someone taller than me, I couldn't reach out. And finally I decided, I'm gonna sit on the floor. So I see this floor, it is I just stayed on the floor. Excuse me, I sit on the floor, nobody can get in front between me and the flower until I get the flower. So anyway, I put this. I love this picture, and with working the Lightroom along Photoshop along into the actual the real picture I sent to for display is colored tile. Do you see the left side corner? There's some tile. The tile. But I think most important is the day I saw met with Tom. We introduced each other, and right away I began to ask Tom some question about what's the aperture that was stuck. I think Tom was so kind and just take time to explain. There's a time also we talked about a little bit about the stack. But I did not get the real detail until you and I met second time in Lewiston Garden. Remember, take the class. Tom actually explained to me how to do the stack. Move on, please. Okay. 2019, we went to legal, we went to a health. This guy, whose name, he's a professional. This guy, whose name is Clarence. I asked him, oh no, he's great. So we had some, take this piece. Later he gave me business card. So if you need something, call me, always not something. But I take this picture, I really like. The challenge for this picture is, when you take picture of someone who has a different skin tone, I think need to be careful the context. But I did not do it too good. Anyway, I just continue learning with different situation with a different subject, and before I do something, and study about the difference in color, surrounding, and what I want to say. Anyway, move on, please. Hello. Hey, this one is triathlon. I was supposed to be the official photographer. I sit on this side. I heard someone screaming. That's what I call this image. This guy, he said he got his number one. So I take it and fix. Anyway, I appreciate the time. You guys give me a time to share with you the conclusion of my presentation. One, I think we never finish this learning process. Culture shock, whatever shock, I got, and also then we. This, as long as consistent, you can. Do when you want. I can get it where I want. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you both. And that's a great message. Keep learning. Keep trying stuff. I didn't know we had a private detective. Ex-private detective. Well, all right. Ken, do you think we could do the people who doctored MJ's image?
Yes.
I think they're probably all on different phone drives. As you know, MJ sent out a photograph she took in, I guess, Mexico, this weird old abandoned cafe, and she said, do something with this. So I'm very interested to see what the story is people came up with. Okay,
Yeah,
who's that?
that's mine.
Okay, fine.
Global warming?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about rise in sea levels. You made it. So, this is titled, by the sea, by the sea, by the fast rising sea. And, I just borrowed, just Googled an image off the internet of, taken at, I asked for an image taken at water level, found this image, and then Photoshopped the hell out of it. And I think the sign was originally Mexican food, but I decided to overwrite seafood.
That's great. Okay, that's one try.
Very great.
Very creative. This is Sue. She's unfortunately she's an Iceman. Which sounds a lot better than where we are. She didn't spend along any detail how she got this. Obviously, she put a couple of things together. But I kind of like that too. Is that a comment on the quality of the food? Anyway, that's her take on it. And I thought that was, okay, that's interesting. Interesting. Okay, who's?
I think I can guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, the one before. Yeah. Yeah, the
Well-
one before, I put in two, sort of before and after.
So it must.
There you go. Okay, that was the, when I got the challenge. Yeah. I thought, okay, what am I gonna do with this? And, so I played around a little bit, changed some of the colors and highlights. Then went to Photoshop, Beta. Okay. And went in with the mural filters. And, the nice thing about the mural filters is that it gives you some ideas. About 15 or 16 different things you can approach with. The one I like a lot is a styling issue. So if you want to take a picture, make it look like a Gauguin, if you want to make it look like something, push that button, it happens. Then it's in layers, so then you can adjust the layer so that it becomes presentable or it becomes unique enough without blowing everything up. Of course, you're going to go the other way, and it looks like something that's falling out of
I don't know, back in the comic book. But anyway, so I played with this and came up with that, and I kind of liked it. So I said, okay, there we go. But then, as been pointed out, I have a style. So I thought, okay, let's do it again. And I said, okay, this one's going to be with my helper. And the idea being that she's there and she's holding up the original. And over the, well, maybe that's pushing the original, I don't know. But I don't know, young lady is a model that I've shot many times. And I think the original picture of her was out in Arizona somewhere on one of those roads that goes forever. You know, and I had her holding up a map, kind of like lost. I thought, okay, I'll change the map out, I'll do this, and put it in the other picture. You gotta kind of prove it so that the image she's showing looks like it's paper, not just a square frame, something. And then put it in a way that she's not covering up pictures. But anyway, obviously I have too much time on my hands.
How long did it take you to do that?
You want it a day or a week?
Oh, okay.
No, actually, I did it on an afternoon, and then I did one, and then I kind of go away.
Yeah.
Come back and look at it. Yeah, I like that, but it's not me, for what I would do.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had this shot of Gemma, and she, so I went back to her file and read around and found it, lifted her out of this studio shot, put her into this, and then took the original picture and, manipulated so it looked like she was holding it, and then put it in for that. I was like, oh, okay, that's a little different. And wow, there it is. Well, that's. Yeah, we have more time than we know what to do is.
And that's the root.
No, that's this, I think it's tough. Yeah, I know, because I started a series.
That's the original shot, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that was a challenge in itself, because the original's always washed out, and and kind of.
Before you can fix it.
Yeah. Well, put it that way, yeah. It was a challenge before you could.
So that's mine.
Do we need 3D glasses?
I've been playing around with this process and for a little bit, and the thought came to me when I was taking a photo encaustic workshop in Kingston, New York in February. The instructor was talking about separating CMYK channels, and that got to be a little bit too difficult. So I tried to figure out how to separate the red, blue, and green channels, the RDPC channels, in Photoshop, and I found something there. And so I've been doing that and basically creating a separate layer for each color channel, and then just kind of moving them around. And then, the colors kind of blend together and show through. So you get all these different colors, and because each channel is on a different layer and they're not directly on top of each other, you get this, multiple effect on it. And I just like the way this came out. I think I'm going to print this and I'm going to play with it. Well, actually, I can't do that because it's not my photo, but maybe I'll do it. But it's an interesting process. When I layer it with encaustic, the encaustic, the way I do it, the encaustic bubbles up, it encapsulates the paper, and it gets this 3D-ish, deep effect to it. Did you do that on store-bought drugs? Yeah, actually, I'm not quite sure where the drugs came from.
There the best.
Yeah.
Which. Suit. It's. There's, okay, I'm gonna go next, it's not gonna serve as that.
Okay, yeah, this is my try. What I was doing was, you're driving late at night. In this empty part of the country. You're hungry. And you see in the distance. The sign that says cafe. And so you pull in. And then your headlights, this is what your headlights illuminate. And at that stage, you just faint from hunger.
Just keep going.
That's my story.
You're sticking on crap.
Yeah, one thing that surprises me, Peter, is that you didn't crop it.
Oh. Well. I can't go there. But anyway,
For those of you who don't know, Peter and I
That
have
was-
this ongoing.
that was just the first thing I thought was, this just lend itself to being desperation. Late at night. And-
My first thought was sign up.
Oh, it's like.
Just go cafe to hotel and you're there.
Yeah,
Twilight Zone.
you can walk and knock on the door and some guy with an axe or.
Axe comes out.
The axe comes out.
You get what you
I
get.
just thought that offered terrifying possibility.
That's good, that's good.
Okay, we got any more?
Yeah.
Richard?
Well, this obviously isn't so imaginative as what we've seen so far. I just worked on trying to make the overall image more interesting and to emphasize the foreground by changing some of the colors and reducing the clutter somewhat in the background. But it's
That's a lot more welcoming than some of us.
Yeah, Peter would have stopped at this one.
You almost need it this one. Yeah, it kind of looks like the building is actually kind of new, so, yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
Well,
if you ignore the cemetery right next to it.
the building in the background, I just took the salmon colored doors and changed them to something more neutral to try to keep it from distracting so much from the foreground.
Yeah, but it looks like you could actually eat.
Yeah.
Looks like you're gonna be.
Not that desperate.
Any more?
My hardest part with working that image was the cafe sign.
Yeah.
It was so washed out.
Yeah.
And trying to bring back any life to it. And I worked that by itself for longer than I wanted to admit. And never did get it as much as I.
Starting to get the original one.
All right.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, we all looked at this. This one really says New Mexico to me. The colors, the turquoise blue, the sunshine yellow, the shape of the sign looked to me reminiscent of the Zia figure on the New Mexico flag. And I thought, well, I want to keep the colors. I like the geometric shapes in the building in the back. The truck is really busy. What am I gonna do? So, okay, go on to the next one. So I started off, I put a layer on top of it, and I drew over the image, the parts that I liked. I added some lines going into and out of the sign to make it more like the Zia figure. And I outlined the power lines because there's always power lines in the way. And my feeling is that if you can't get rid of it, make it a feature. So the next thing I did, go to the next one. I filled in a nice sunshine yellow. And then I took the original and I kind of blurred it out. I added some Gaussian blur and I used the, what is it? I used,
The LSD filter.
the old age filter, where I increased the saturation on the yellow and the cyan. And then I blended them together with the luminosity mode. And it kind of came out the way I was hoping. It's got the Adobe colors, the turquoise blue, the sunshine yellow, and it's got the outline of the building and the truck without it being too busy. So
That's really.
that was a good week's work.
Other man with too much time on his.
Yeah, way too much. Yeah, I didn't use any model in mine because I like my body without bullet holes in it.
Anita.
I've still been playing a lot of AI for the photo, so I made an AI cornfield. And then made a composite of the picture and replaced the sky.
Totally different. Great.
That's all of the special image.
That's all of the manipulated images. Thanks, everybody. That was fun. I think, who wants to volunteer to photograph the next? Somebody, yeah, an old photograph sitting around and play with. I think this was a great idea. A lot of fun. I had fun with mine. All right, nobody's volunteering. I'll see if I can come up with something. Okay,
Do we have a program?